Bryce Hall just went off on the Hype House, and we have all the details. I'm Gianna Rosenberg.
I'm Gabby Conti, and this is your 24/7 celebrity news. Bryce Hall's rivalry with the Hype House, to our knowledge, dates all the way back to the release of the diss track he released with Josh Richards about Lil Huddy back in March, called Still Softish. This track, as you remember, called Chase out for flirting with Nessa while he was dating Charlie. This turned out to not only be true, but Chase then made out with Nessa while trying to get Charlie back months later. And while it seems like the dust from the explosion of the Hype House drama centering around Lil Huddy has settled, Bryce still seems to be having major beef with the Hype House, despite the fact that he's been hanging out a lot with former Hype House member Addison Rae.
Yeah, Addison never formally exited from the Hype House. However, I mean, it's pretty known that she's no longer a part of it. She has her own thing going on.
Right.
She does go there frequently to make TikToks, but she's also, been to the Clubhouse to make TikToks. She's been to the Sway House. She's her own thing.
She's her own thing, and she's also still friends with a lot of the Hype House members. And also, it was when it was announced that the Hype House has a television show in the works, Addison was not part of that TV show, although I wouldn't be surprised if she'll be on it, because they did say they'll have a lot of guests coming in and out of the docuseries.
Yeah, but Bryce has no mercy on shading people whatsoever. That's one of the things I think that makes him such an entertaining digital content creator. However, it's pretty crazy because I know he's like besties with Taylor Holder, who's in the Hype House. So for him to just kind of like unleash the wrath on the Hype House is kind of a big deal.
To me, Bryce's hate of the Hype House seems to be the same, like it seems to be a bit to him, like something that he just keeps on doing. Kind of like the whole, Nessa sharding. I feel like it's kind of just like, Bryce just won't stop talking about that, and he won't stop talking about how much he doesn't like the Hype House. But I think jokes aside, obviously, I feel like they're fine, but it is entertaining to watch the tweets and the, Hollywood Fix reports on Bryce.
So then a few days ago, when it surfaced that Griffin Johnson was Snapchatting another girl while dating Dixie D'Amelio, Bryce went off on the Hype House on Twitter as he tweeted, "F the Hype House, full of lies and ass content. Literally the epitome of scum. Don't worry though, they'll hit me up in a few days and ask me to film." Because of the timing of this rant, fans were quick to assume this tweet was in support of Bryce's Sway House bro, Griffin Johnson, who was getting a lot of hate for Snapchat cheating on Dixie D'Amelio. But Bryce cleared the air by saying his hate for the Hype House has nothing to do with Trixie. I believe that.
Just bad timing, Bryce.
Yeah, bad timing.
While everyone else was talking about all this crazy drama, Bryce was like, and by the way, the Hype House is the worst.
I mean, I totally believe him when he says it really doesn't have to do with Griffin Johnson. Griffin's his boy, and I think like all of their relationships, aside from Chase airing out everyone's dirty laundry that one time, but I think like they all handle their relationships. They're not gonna like end friendships because someone cheated on someone.
Oh no, but what I'm saying is that the reason why people thought that Bryce was going off on the Hype House because Hype House members were talking shit about Griffin when the news leaked.
Right.
And so people thought, oh, Bryce was supporting Griffin and telling them all to shut it. When really, this was just a Bryce, tweet that he just had that had nothing to do with.
So he was in a way defending Griffin.
He was, but he didn't mean to, because he literally this tweet was so separate.
And then
and then he went after to tell people that it had nothing to do with Griffin and Dixie, and he also urged fans, we don't know the full story. I think everyone should mind their own business as I'm minding mine. This also has nothing to do with me. Okay, so then after there was the drama between Bryce and Addison, which the two resolved off social media, despite posting a picture of them on Twitter assuring fans that they are fine, but Bryce kept talking about how much he hates the Hype House. Chase Hudson's mom even showed her thoughts on the Sway House versus the Hype House by liking a tweet about how the Sway House fan base lets them get away with anything and never holds them accountable for their actions, which is kind of true. After Griffin broke Dixie's heart, the Sway House boys have been starting a #FreeGriff trend on Twitter that Sway House stans seem to be supporting.
Yeah, I mean, like we said, I think what Griffin did was really messed up. Of course, like who wouldn't? I think he thinks what he did is messed up. But throwing shade at him, I don't think it's necessary. And I kind of agree. I think Bryce knows a lot more than we do about everyone's dirty laundry. I think even though Chase should not have tweeted that out to the world, very wrong. I think, he didn't make it up out of thin air. I think a lot of times rumors aren't rumors, they come from somewhere at least.
Right.
So yeah, but again, putting it all on social media, shunning people on social media, it's just not really cool.
Right, which I think is why this fan had tweeted this, because they're looking at how Chase was treated after he made out with Nessa when he wasn't even officially dating Charlie, right? And how everyone was quick to cancel him and call him out. But when Griffin cheats on his girlfriend, Snapchat cheats, people are just like, it's fine. So I think that is the comparison. Or I would like to look at it as the community, the TikTok community has just grown and evolved and realized that cancel culture is problematic, and just kind of wants to support Griffin in terms of he must be hurting. It's like, Dixie is probably the best thing that ever will happen to him, and so he is in pain, and so I think we should just not be sending hate to him.
Then recently, the Hollywood Fix caught up with Bryce, who is still talking about how fake the Hype House is. When the Hollywood Fix asked Bryce why he is saying the Hype House content is all fake, Bryce laughed and said the Hype House content is all fake. Then the Hollywood Fix asked if the Hype House should meet the Sway House's level of digital content, and Bryce said no one can match their level. It's important to note that this interview happened around the same time that the news broke that the Hype House was getting their own TV show, a docuseries called Hype Life. Then after TikTok Room posted the Hollywood Fix's video where Bryce called the Hype House fake, Hype House co-founder Thomas Petrou commented back on that post saying, "Kids' content is literally only talking about us at this point." Then Thomas added, "We all make the same content. Instead of talking let's talk about Lebanon." Aw, Thomas has come a long way.
He has come a long way.
Actually, I don't know. I even think the way I don't know what happened with, him and that whole Daisy leaving the Hype House controversy that happened months ago. I do think he handled that well. Like, she made a video, he made a video. He said that's all he was gonna say. He never talked crap on social media.
Nope. And that was all he did.
Yeah, I kind of was hard on him through all that, but this was such an appropriate, mature response to this.
Yeah, and we should be talking, if you haven't done the research yet, we should be looking at Lebanon and what's happening there, and just, and send support however we can. Because there are bigger issues in the world. Your whole life could literally get exploded. So I think it's smart that he is saying that and putting that into action. Also, it's important to note that while the Hype House has a show, that's just saying that they have a deal, meaning that some production company is making their show. We don't know an air date. We don't know if a network has bought it yet. While this is exciting news, we should know that it doesn't mean that they'll definitely be on television.
Might be in motion, but it's not set in stone.
It's not set in stone, and also you should know that the other houses have something similar in the works.
Definitely.
What do you think is going on between Bryce Hall and the Hype House? Do you think it's all for show, or do you think Bryce really, really hates the Hype House? Let us know. I'm Gabby Conti.
I'm Gianna Rosenberg, and follow us here at Hollywire for your 24/7 celebrity news.